Children's Chance has been running for over 20 years now and helps families in Salisbury by providing financial support so that children can take part in some of the 50 activities they help to organise.
We fund these things if their parents are unable to afford it. They might be living in poverty. We've got 995 children in Salisbury apparently living in poverty, but it might be just that their family's going through hard times. Maybe they've been made redundant, or maybe they're just on a low income, or maybe it's a large family. Large families often can't afford for the third or fourth child to undertake the same activities as the first children.
One couple who have been helped by the charity is Oliver and Tanya. They live in Salisbury along with their 3 children, 1-year-old Autumn, 3-year-old Alexander and 11-year-old Charlotte. It was Charlotte who was offered swimming lessons by the charity after they were referred by her primary school.
Charlotte always wanted to do swimming, and we looked around town, what was around, and it just so happened that the school at the Godolphin offered what we thought was a very good rate. It was lots of good lessons with low numbers of people that were doing it, and we went along for a taster session, I think it was.
Yeah, it was a free taster session for Charlotte to go along, and they kind of assessed her to see where she was, and Charlotte really enjoyed it, and she started off as a non-swimmer there, so she had a lot of work to do, but she said she really wanted to do it, and that was why we talked to school and how that all came about, really, because it was a bit more than we could afford.
Tanya suffers from fibromyalgia, and so Oliver left his job to become a full-time carer for her. With income at a low, they say the charity helped to offer their daughter something she otherwise wouldn't have gotten the chance to do.
I think it's been able to help her a lot because she's just literally last week she's been awarded her 800 metres? Yes, it's 800 metre award, half a mile pretty much, which is massive. And, I think it's also increased her confidence an awful lot because she's now top of the class. She does everything that she can because she's also what's called a young carer. So she helps out at home with Tanya. So there's a lot that she gets to do outside of Children's Chance as well that's part of being a young carer. That her being able to go swimming is, in a way, a reward for her being a young carer.
Since having her first swimming lesson and her first term subsidised, Charlotte went on to take part in a charity swimming event, and her parents say she's coming on leaps and bounds. They still keep in touch with Children's Chance every year.
They are always there. It's really good. We did have quite a lot of exchanges with Jane. Always asked how Charlotte was doing. It was lovely, They really do care.
What would you tell other families who might be in a similar position and are looking for extra help?
Just to ask. There's a very good saying that goes around, which is if you don't ask, you don't get. And it's one of those things that if all you've got to do is ask. At the end of the day, the worst thing that will happen is they'll just say, we can't help you at this time, but we'll contact you later. And there have been a few people who have done that for us, where we've just said, we need some help, can you help us? And they've come back to us later on to ask whether we still need it. But yeah, it's just ask.
Once Alexander is old enough, the couple are hoping to see if he can soon take to the pool with the charity's help. Cara Digby, That's TV.